war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to the United States Congress yesterday and basically disrespected the entire nation. He just put his nutsack. He put his nutsack on the Constitution. Okay. All right. Let's see what happened. And obviously people are chirping about like not Benjamin Netanyahu putting his nutsack on the Constitution and basically dog walking the entirety of Congress, damn near the entirety of Congress. But also people are worried about the protests against billions of unlimited dollars going to Israel, which is currently engaging in a genocide, which is crazy. Think about that. Like people are more mad that American citizens are burning the American flag, which is constitutionally protected, okay, as the founders intended, and not mad about a foreign leader coming to the country and being like, yeah, you got to deal with these fucking rabble rousers in your nation. You got to arrest them because, you know, they're hurting my feelings. Like, it's insane.
Begin this hour with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's controversial visit to Washington. Outside the Capitol, demonstrators upset about the visit in the war in Gaza clashed with police.
The hands of the Jewish state will never be shackled. Israel will always defend itself.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended his months-long unrelenting war against Hamas.
We're not only protecting ourselves, we're protecting you.
And argued it's in America's shared interest, saying the October 7th attack on Israel was a first strike by enemies who have their sights set on the U.S.
How can a war criminal just walk into U.S. Congress? I mean, most of U.S. Congress is comprised of war criminals. That's what the American government does as well. I think the most like shitty aspect of it that this is a foreign nation. This is a foreign national who is from a foreign country that is entirely reliant on the United States of America and the Western world to like exist, really. And he's like coming to the American Congress to chirp about American citizens to American politicians. I don't understand how people do not have this like genuine resentment and anger to the arrogance and entitlement demonstrated by Israel on a daily basis. Like, especially this act. Bro, getting butthurt is crazy. No, it's just like, it just shocks me that like we are using American tax dollars to fund and facilitate Israel's genocide instead of like, you know, fixing our roads, fixing our healthcare, like actually having healthcare, adequate healthcare, like housing homeless people, making education free. Like all of this stuff, all of these dollars could be better served, and we're giving it so that Israel can keep killing children, right? And that's like gross enough as it is. But then we're also using tax dollars to arrest the people protesting that shit, okay? Arresting people protesting this like ridiculous situation. Americans that are actually demonstrating and using their First Amendment rights that's constitutionally protected, and the fucking dumbass cucked right-wingers are complaining about flag burning more than they're complaining about this foreign leader being like, arrest these fuckers who are talking shit about my country. It's the best country ever. Is it fair to be angry at both actions? Why? Why would you be angry at one action over the other? Because if your goal here is to be like America first, then you should recognize that burning the American flag is a constitutionally protected act in the United States of America that has been defended successfully in the Supreme Court, okay? That's an act of protest. An act of protest that says, fuck this shit. Why are we giving our tax dollars? It is, in my opinion, a patriotic act. People that don't care about America, that are American citizens themselves, don't want to change the trajectory of the United States of America. These are people who do care about America. These are people who are saying enough is enough, not in our name, not with our tax dollars. I'm sick and tired of it. The notion that like these supposedly America First assholes are more mad about Americans protesting the American government's misuse of tax dollars to participate actively in a genocidal foreign nation's actions instead of like, you know, fixing a litany of problems that Americans are facing is perfectly valid. That includes like defiling a replica of a fucking bell. Like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, this is so silly. Getting mad about this is the dumbest fucking thing you can do. And it's the only thing you can do, as a matter of fact, because you can't get mad about Benjamin Netanyahu basically fucking flexing his nutsack on the American Congress yesterday, getting a standing ovation You are obligated to state your standpoint and speak truth to power about how central New Jersey doesn't exist. It's true, it doesn't. There, I said it. I said the truth, and I'm not afraid to say it. Anyway, so yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu addressed Congress. He basically fucking lied the entire time, and the media kind of talked about it. Like, the media kind of addressed like some of the worst aspects of his lies, including, but not limited to, the restriction on aid, like the actual restrictions that Israel has placed on humanitarian aid, which is a telltale sign, like a clear-cut definitional war crime. Straight up, no ands, ifs, or buts. He just basically lied about that, despite the fact that every single on-the-ground charity, on-the-ground humanitarian aid worker, every NGO that works in Gaza, every international organ of justice that has looked into the matter has openly stated that Israel is deliberately refusing to bring in as much aid as possible. And yet they just keep lying about it. And I guess like the media considers that to be a bridge too far in terms of like some of the lies that Benjamin Netanyahu presented to Congress. But I just can't get over how unimaginably gross this entire situation was. I don't know. I felt like I was taking crazy pills watching this shit yesterday. It felt manic, like a serious vibe shift. But having said that, here was John Kirby talking about Netanyahu's remarks and immediately running defense for him. And then I'll get to Kamala as well. Kamala made a really bad, really stupid statement as well.
Did the U.S. find any of Netanyahu's remarks yesterday to be false or misleading?
I'm not going to parse everything he said.
I mean, he's wearing an IDF dog tag. He's a piece of shit. I mean, he's a monster.
Or, do a fact check here from this podium. He should speak for himself about what his views are.
He should, but he had a powerful stage, a joint address before Congress. Do you agree with assertions that Iran financially backs some of the protesters, that if there are Palestinians in Gaza who aren't getting enough food, it's not because Israel is blocking it, as two examples?
So on the first example, we've said ourselves, the Director of National Intelligence came out publicly and said that we do know that Iran has been funding and encouraging some of the protest activity here in the United States. Some of it.
Also, some of it is. So some of the protesters, like Americans, American citizens, okay, like myself, like you guys in this chat, many of you that attend protests on a regular basis, we are not just American citizens and taxpayers who are genuinely angry and upset that it is truly unconscionable that our tax dollars are going to manufacture weapons that Israel uses on Palestinian children. It can't be that. We're actually getting paid. Some of us are actually getting paid by Iran. This is the first step of a Red Scare. Blame a foreign adversary abroad so they can justify denying us our rights. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable garbage. They did this during Red Scare. They did this during the civil rights movement. Every like black liberation group was technically communist. Some of them literally were communists, but they would just basically say like they're being funded by the USSR. The American administration throughout history, they did this for the Vietnam protests as well. American administrations throughout history have always fought back and done some of the most unimaginably cruel and restrictive bullshit whenever people that we now take for granted that we actually hail as heroes go out and protest against injustice. This isn't new at all. It's just shitty and scary. And I don't know. I just thought that we would have moved past this at this point, but of course not.
On the second question, there has been a steady increase of humanitarian assistance getting into Gaza. The problem isn't getting it to Gaza. The problem is getting it around Gaza.
Yeah. No, definitely. Fuck everyone else that has said that like Israel is actually limiting the aid that's going into Gaza. They're wrong. All of them are wrong. I'm just gonna basically repeat what Israel said to you back. Are you the fucking spokesman for Israel, or are you the American spokesman for the State Department? What is happening here? Your position has become being a spokesman for Israel at this point. You are just repeating what they say. It's crazy. Who's dropping the bombs? Oh, that's right. It's the fucking country that is sieging its own open-air prison that is also refusing to render adequate aid. And it's crazy to say this because you're wearing a fucking IDF dog tag, you donkey. You piece of shit, soulless monster, you. I hate John Kirby with all of my fucking heart. He is my least favorite admin figure. And if there was any God, if there was any fucking karmic justice, he would experience a fraction of the pain that he has advocated for the rest of his life, okay? Like, look at him. He's literally wearing it on his neck, dude. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, there is no better representation of being cucked than openly wearing the dog tag of a foreign nation around your neck. What are we doing here? The idea of dog tag is supposed to signal what exactly? It's supposed to signal to the rest of the world, to anyone that's paying attention, is that he's got one fucking mode, okay? That's it. That's his loyalty. His loyalty is with Israel. That's what he cares about more than anything else. People say like dual loyalty tropes. This motherfucker doesn't have dual loyalty. He has single loyalty, okay? And let me tell you, it's not to the United States of America. Let's actually talk about the strong comments from Kamala, which is absolutely unacceptable, in my opinion. It is cowardly. It is a complete capitulation to right-wing framing on this issue. You dropped the fucking ball, okay? My expectation is not for her to come out and be like, it's awesome to burn the American flag. You're not supposed to say that. Obviously, no person who wants to win the presidential race is ever going to say that. But you're not supposed to talk about that, dumbass. What is wrong with you? It's like, imagine if Republicans every single day were going out and being like, well, we saw the Patriot Prayer rally that occurred where they were talking about how they want to fucking like murder everyone that isn't sufficiently white. And we condemn them in the strongest terms. Like, they don't do that. They don't do that. They don't take ownership over it at all. Like, who cares? And it's not even a fucking comparison here. I'm not even making like a moral comparison between the fucking Patriot Prayer rallies and Patriot Front and like people who are pro-Palestinian, okay? It's just so stupid to take ownership over this and to just like finger wag at Republican framing on the issue. This was an absolute dunk. This was an opportunity for her to turn around and be like, Benjamin Netanyahu is Trump in Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu is as unpopular as Trump is in Israel. It seems he's more popular with the Republican Party than he is in his own country. The speech that he delivered to the American Congress was gross and filled to the brim with lies, just like Donald Trump. Israel is our ally. We are strongly committed to defending Israel, and Benjamin Netanyahu is not the right person for the job, as the Israeli citizens have declared time and time again. That's it. Don't talk about the fucking protesters, you dumbass. What's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Like, the instincts that these people have blow my fucking mind. Like, taking ownership over the right-wing framing on the matter, immediately jumping on it and be like, no, that's not us. We love Israel. These guys, the pro-Palestinians they're pro-Hamas, and they're really scary and they're really bad. Like, why? Why are you throwing? Now you just took ownership over it. Now it's like your side is actually, in the eyes of the rest of the country, you have taken ownership over it. You openly fucking mentioned it, instead of using this opportunity and hitting this fucking Israel shit on a partisan framing. My expectation is not that she comes out, she's like, I'm a one-stater, free Palestine. Okay, but it blows my fucking mind that like she couldn't even do the Nancy Pelosi liberal Zionist line. Yesterday at Union Station in Washington, D.C., we saw despicable acts by unpatriotic protesters and dangerous hate-filled rhetoric. Like, did a Republican write this? Did Matt Walsh write this for you? Are you fucking stupid? Did you get hit in the fucking head? What are you doing? I condemn any individuals associating with the brutal terrorist organization Hamas, which has vowed to annihilate the state of Israel and kill Jews. Pro-Hamas graffiti and rhetoric is abhorrent, and we must not tolerate it in our nation. I'm running for president to clean up the streets from pro-Hamas graffiti. Thank you. And it's the worst part about this is that Democrats have this instinct, and they do it all the time. And all it does is give more ammunition to the right. It's like when you sign these messaging bills, right? But being like, oh, socialism is bad. We voted. Like Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic caucus votes on a messaging bill saying America will never be a socialist nation. And it's like, hey, stupid, they call you a socialist. You're just basically saying this thing that they call us is bad. And we agree it's bad. They're never going to look at that and go, see, they signed a messaging bill that says socialism is bad, so I guess they're not socialists. They're just calling you communists and Marxists and socialists anyway. Stop leaning into this dumb fuck bullshit. Why are you openly calling the right-wing framing on this matter when your fucking party, half of the members in your own goddamn party, had the instinct not to fucking go to this meeting. It's so stupid. Now you just look like Biden 2.0. You had an opportunity to genuinely build on the youth momentum. And now all you've done is cut that. And before people say, oh, Hasan, this is not that significant. Like, this is not that significant. I know, but it's significant in key states that they have to win. What is this? I'm all for peaceful protest, but what happened today is unacceptable. How do you expect to garner support for a cause when the movement is clearly troped in anti-Semitism? The use of nooses and carrying Hamas flags is downright abhorrent. What is this? Let's not forget Hamas, a terrorist organization that hates the Jews and the West. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what do you mean? What? Like, there's no way that you can turn around and fucking ensure that every single person isn't like waving these like Reddit ass flags. I don't give a shit about what they're doing on Reddit. Like, getting one guy, is this even from DC? It doesn't matter. If you want to message adequately in situations like this, you cannot capitulate to right-wing framing. You just cut any number of real grassroots momentum. Hit this from a partisan angle, like Nancy Pelosi did, like everyone else fucking did in your goddamn party. Liberals are so bad and do not want to win. I swear to fucking God. Like, he went to fucking Mar-a-Lago, man. He's going to his house. Benjamin Netanyahu is flying to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the fucking ring. And these dumb fucks are busy talking about protesters! Are you stupid? You're so fucking dumb. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. 40,000 murdered, majority women and children, with our tax dollars, with our fucking weapons, with our bullets, with our missiles. Money that could be going to fixing the roads, money that could be going to hardening our infrastructure, money that could be going to combating homelessness, money that could be going to education, healthcare, all of the things that these fucking dipshits advocate for. And then the guy getting all that money comes in to US Congress and gets a standing ovation harder than any American president ever does when they fucking deliver speeches in front of the American Congress. And these fucking idiots, instead of hitting this on a partisan front, hitting this from a partisan angle and talking about it and saying like, Benjamin Netanyahu is very clearly Trump in Israel. That's it. That's a gift. Okay. That's all you need to say. And here you are talking about like, oh man, these guys are so scary. The protesters are so scary. The protesters are so scary. And they're probably backed by Iran. The flag is a symbol of our highest ideals as a nation. It represents the promise of America. It should never be desecrated in that way. What are you going to do? Are you going to make it illegal to burn the flag? Is that what you're going to do? You're running on an anti-free speech platform now? Is that what we're doing? What the fuck? Oh, are you backed by Iran though? Yes, of course. At the top of the hour when I serve a 3-minute ad break and the gift subs come rolling in, those are all Iranian mullahs, okay? I really hope for her campaign's sake, they've learned their lesson about this sort of thing. Yeah. She could have not said anything, honestly. She's killing whatever momentum she started with. If we're being very honest, if we're being radically honest, very serious about the situation, being pro-Palestinian is not like a winning method for you. I'm not saying that at all, okay? Americans are very stupid. They just want to not think about it. That's why Trump's messaging on it is perfect. He's like, yeah, Israel finished the job. You know what I mean? Like, he just takes advantage of the fact that he's not the one in power while this horrifying shit is happening. And that's why he's winning over Biden by like 20 points in terms of who could handle Israel Palestine better. But for the Democratic Party, there are a lot of young voters that they desperately need to win, especially in 3 key states that do at least care about it significantly enough that they're refusing to vote, especially in Michigan. Okay? That's it. Remember, she's not trying to win our vote. She's trying to win over like the 10,000 people in the suburbs and swing states. Those idiots do care about this shit. Yeah, the problem here is that Kamala Harris, by being a black Indian woman, already is like going to lose out to Trump on some of those moderates. The college educated whites that Biden was actually fucking cooking Trump over, they might not vote for Kamala. She has to go back to the Obama method and try and activate the youth. She can't run just like Joe Biden did. And it doesn't even matter because the Joe Biden momentum has already was dying. That's the reason why she's the purpose. That is the reason why she's the one who's running for president now. The Joe momentum was over. It was Jover.